Hey everybody, what's happening? Son of a Silverstacker here. In today's numismatic news and information for the 8th day of October, 2021, I'd like to welcome you over to JM Bullion so we can look at the live spot prices. However, before we do that, I'd like to give a big shout out to all the people who are supporting the channel and have supported the channel in the past and will support the channel in the future. Love y'all. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Now over here to JM Bullion. Looks like gold is up $1.64 to 1766.12. Silver is down 11 cents to 22.61. Platinum is up $17.16 to 1014.83, and palladium is up $47.82 to 20.35 even Steven. Now our next stop today is the United States Mint. We're going to be looking at some of the production of the bullion sales. Now this is the frequency here. They tell you here. Sales totals by month are updated every weekday by 5 p.m. So they update these weekly. Has year-dated totals, and they're updated annually. Available in HTML format, which is nice. And it says here the data may be republished with the United States Mint cited as the source. So we definitely know the United States Mint is the place that we're getting this information from. Now, wanted to show you the Type 1 and the Type 2 bullion silver sales for this year. And right here we have the Type 1, and it ends in May. So we have about 5 million there, about 3 million there. That's 8 million plus another 4 is 12. There's 13 million. And just this month, okay, they've added 500,000. And so you add, these two together, what you got there? 3 is 6, 9, 10, plus the almost 13 million there. So they're probably at 13 million with this 500,000 that they've added in October. Now, I don't know that they will hit 4 million this month, because if you think about it, if this information was updated just 2 days ago, that was basically the first week of the month. And well, if you extrapolate that and do the math, 4 weeks in a month, and you multiply that by 500,000, you're looking at maybe just a hair over 2 million. So that would definitely put the Type 2 in first place as far as the total mintage between the Type 1 and the Type 2. However, if you do the math on this particular coin, and I hope I'm right here, I had 13,106,500 for the Type 1 and 13,069,000 for the Type 2, leaving a difference of 37,500, and that's with the Type 1 in the lead. Now, obviously, one afternoon, that could all change, and they could produce, 100,000 in one afternoon, or not produce, I'm sorry, sell 100,000 easily, and there they would go. And the numbers would easily jump. So I went over to JM Bullion to look at the discrepancy between the Type 1 and the Type 2 American Silver Eagle Bullion, and I found it over here. Now this is the Type 2. It is selling for $32.12, and here is the Type 1, and it's selling for $37.52. So it's about a $5.40 difference right there. But look at this. Did you see that when I first landed on this page? Look at this. It says image coming soon, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. They don't have an image for a 2021 coin Type 1 that's been out since, months ago, 5 months ago. And it says here, wait, last day of production. And that's an MS70, and that's bullion at $97.12. And I was like, okay, let's click this to find out what's going on here. And you look at that. The lowest is 97. The highest you're going to pay is 101.17, right? So still don't have an image. And it says here the 2021 release schedule for the American Silver Eagles has been a groundbreaking one in the history of the series. For the first time ever, the U.S. Mint overhauled one of the design elements of the coin, replacing John Mercanti's original heraldic eagle design with a new bald eagle design. With this in flight by Emily Domstra, the one that looks like the Ike dollar. All it's missing is the moon and the earth in the background. In a year of firsts at the United States Mint, you now have the chance to own another unique piece. And I tell you, if you're a label hunter, this one's probably for you, because it says right now the 2021 1-ounce American Silver Eagle type coins from the last day of production are available to purchase online from JM Bullion in perfect condition. And it did say about $100, right? So that's kind of interesting. And look, it says here, by June 2021, the U.S. Mint began to wind down production of the original American Silver Eagle coin designs. On the final day of production, these 2021 American Silver Eagles rolled out of the coining presses. After these coins were struck, the U.S. Mint underwent a pause, coining to swap out dies in its presses to begin production of the new American Silver Eagle with its all-new vision of the bald eagle on the reverse. So there you go. That's why. That's why this is happening. And I imagine they had to get special boxes saying that this was the last day of production. So if you go to eBay to find these, you're going to find them in auction form only. None of them accept offers. And if you did look at the buy it now, and that is the MS69, you're looking at $70. So obviously, I think the right thing to do is to, well, I think the right thing to do is to buy it in an auction. Otherwise, you're going to buy it for too much, unless you have that FOMO of missing out, right? The fear of missing out. So these are selling for 35, 18 bids, 4 hours left on that one, 3 days, 4 days, 4 days. It's just incredible. I didn't even know these were actually a thing until this morning. And I thought, well, heck, when did these start selling? So I went all the way back to the sales, and this is pretty explanatory. You know, it's pretty obvious when these started dropping. So check this out. This was latest sales, October 7th. That was just yesterday. $74, $375 shipping. 46. That was the day before. The day before. So these are moving. October 5, October 4. All about the $40 range. And if you think about it, that's pretty amazingly low. If you're getting a graded coin, last day of production, I understand that it's a mid-state 69, but still, you're getting it for what? What did we say that was? The yep, there we go. So the type 1 is at 37.52, and if you're looking at 37.52, and then you do the math here, well, I mean, you're getting a graded coin for less than it costs to grade it. And it's the last day of production. What is going on? So back to when these started selling, right? So there's October 1st, September 28, September 28, September, boom, right there. Middle of September, these started to drop. And there's nothing before that whatsoever. So now that that's a thing, now that you know about that, what are you going to do? Are you a label chaser? Is that even a thing, a label chaser? Are you somebody who has to have this because it is the last day of production? Me personally, not so much. I mean, I might if the price is right. But maybe, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just because if it does come out of the holder, well, you would never know it's the last day of production, right? So you're just, and honestly, it might not be that big of an investment for the last day of production if you consider the Type 1 on JM Bullion is $37, right? So you're paying less than maybe $15 more for this particular coin. But I would always keep it in a holder. Now, enough with the jibber jabber. Let me go ahead and get to my +1 today. It's taken up way too much time. Get a drink of water there. Thank you for being patient with me. Now, this quote's from Eleanor Roosevelt, and it's genius. And she's actually known for quite a bit of quotes. Now, it says here, and this might be a little bit off, but I'll do my best to interpret it. It says here, life is not about expecting, hoping, and wishing. It is about doing, being, and becoming. It's about learning from the mistakes of others, and obviously yourself as well, because you can't live long enough to make them all yourself. And this is from AZ Quotes, Eleanor Roosevelt. And that takes me to this, Frank Sonnenberg Online. And it says it's among the best of the leadership blogs. It says here, How to Learn from the Mistakes of Other People by Frank Sonnenberg. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of things here. And it says here, how to turn other people's mistakes into a valuable lesson. And there's 25. Let me read this to you. As you scrutinize any failing and determine how to prevent it in the future, use these 25 factors as a guidepost. Many apply to businesses as well as personal situations. Many missteps occur to these 25 different things. So now let's say something that we can all relate to. Now, David J. Ryder, and I'm not trying to pick on him because I think he did an outstanding job myself. I just think that his delivery of the products was subpar with the website performance. Other than that, I think the guy did a top-notch job. So if you could look at the context of his performance in the website, well, I would say we could do a poor diagnosis of the problem, poor execution, and so on and so forth, right? So there's definitely that. And, it basically is a way to determine what happened, what went wrong, right? But once you get past that, you got to move here. And these are 13 ways to harness these valuable lessons. And I will leave a link in the description below for this website. And I think it's really, really important that we all kind of glean something from this, right? Because we have to pick and choose what we want. Obviously we don't have to agree with everything, but on the stuff you do agree with, you can't go wrong. Now, it says here, learning from others. There are tons of books and podcasts to discuss how and why failures occur. Learn valuable lessons from them. Now, don't reinvent the wheel before you begin making any undertaking. Consider whether it's been done before and apply those lessons. Celebrate learning. This is huge. Don't blame, don't point fingers, because remember, when you're pointing fingers, the rest of those point right back to you. And it says here, treat every experience as a learning opportunity in which mistakes are tolerated, feedback is welcome, and failures are viewed as hurdles rather than roadblocks. And unless, of course, you have somebody who's a saboteur who's doing it on purpose, then that's not actually a learning opportunity. Well, I guess it would be. But just in a different way. Now, it says learn and move on. And this is probably another great one. One of my favorites on here. It says don't beat yourself up for making a mistake. Everyone's human. We prove that every day. And I'm glad they brought up every day, because every single day is a new opportunity to get it right or to screw it up. But then again, the next day we can get it right. And as long as we keep trying to make it right and be better than we were the day before, we're going to make it. Now, it says here, live and learn. Ask yourself whether a mistake is being repeated. Making a mistake is acceptable. Just don't let it return for an encore. Now, it says here, when analyzing problems, focus on the act, not the individual. So if you focus on the individual, that can't be good for their self-esteem and their ego, right? So let's not focus on that. Let's focus on what had happened and how we can achieve getting past that. Now, dig beneath the surface. I think that's self-explanatory. Several factors often contribute to a failing. Therefore, don't be impatient and shut down the discussion after the first cause is identified, right? Don't just say, well, it was that. Well, maybe it's not, you know? Turn talk into action. Yeah, that's huge. And I think that Eleanor Roosevelt said that right here. It's not about expecting, hoping, and wishing. It's about doing, being, and becoming. So it's here, as the popular saying goes, an ounce of action is worth a ton of theory. Never heard that before. Avoid being narrow-minded. So try not to be so narrow-minded where you can only apply a lesson learned in the field it was learned, because you can move those lessons throughout life. I don't know if you played sports or not in the past, but I played high school sports and a little bit of college sports. And I can tell you that those sports lessons I learned can easily be translated into the business world, as well as the lessons I learned in the U.S. military. So it says optimize the learning experience. Many times a lesson in one area can be applied to another, right? That's right. I just said that, optimizing learning. Strike a balance between a point at which you review a situation versus waiting so long that you forget the details, right? So sleep on it and then try and access that the next day or in the following days. Don't wait too long where you can't access that memory anymore. And make sure you write stuff down. That's huge. So basically, you want to keep these lessons. Oh, yeah, there we go. In the top of your mind, keep a journal. While you remember some lessons learned week to week, you will forget a bunch over time, right? And if you work for an organization here or a business, it's not just enough to learn a lesson. They're saying it's critical to share that lesson with your colleagues. And here are two ideas for consideration. So if you create a knowledge database of what had happened, so it's basically creating a guidebook to the best possible outcomes for your future, right? Isn't that amazing? So, and remember, sharing knowledge is good. Holding that knowledge against your chest and petting it and holding it away from everybody, saying, this is mine, you can't have it. Well, that's kind of selfish, because let's face it, we do know that education doesn't come cheap. And, sharing is caring, right? Anyway, folks, I think that's all I got for you today. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear and see, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Son of a Silver Stacker, out.